won the game.
So over the past couple of weeks, the Eagles keep on winning and the NFL keeps on hating.
You can't keep getting away with it!
There's been a bunch of talk about how the Philadelphia Eagles keep on finding ways to win. Obviously, it's a bunch of negative stuff, a bunch of tush-push stuff, and we're going to talk about that. I want to talk about this offense and what I'm seeing and why I'm maybe not as worried as a lot of people are. And I also want to take a look at this defense and kind of some things that maybe they can do to improve, even though they've kind of carried us. So let's get into it. At 2-0, it feels like the sky is falling in Philadelphia. Well, if you listen to any media pundit, that's what it sounds like, at least. The Eagles' offense has not been exactly what we want it to be. The defense has played well at times, but has looked kind of suspect at some times as well. But I want to kind of talk about what I'm seeing from both sides and why I'm not that nervous about what this team is. So we'll start right away with the defense because I think that's a little bit easier to talk on. Now, the defense has looked good. I'm not going to sit here and act like the defense has looked terrible all throughout every single play, every single quarter. We've had some really bright spots. Obviously, last game against the Chiefs, we were able to really hold them to nothing. I think he had 60 yards in the third quarter, very reminiscent of the Super Bowl. But either way, we've looked good on defense. Jihaad Cambell's looked good. Makuba's looked good. I mean, the only thing I can really complain about, and I think every Eagles fan at least has complained about, is Adoree Jackson in that cornerback 2 spot. Did he look better against the Chiefs? No. And was he going against worse players for the Chiefs as far as wide receivers go? Yes. So I don't know what the Eagles are going to do as far as Adoree goes. I've said it before. If you're going to do anything, I would just maybe give Jacorian Bennett some snaps, maybe give Eli Ricks some snaps. I'm very high on Eli Ricks. I think that he can be very good in this league. But if you are going to, I've heard a lot of people talking about possibly moving Cooper DeJean to the outside. If you're going to do that, let's get Mac McWilliams some slot reps. I don't necessarily want to go out there and get another, guy off the street. I think that you got some good players here. Let's see what they can do on this defense. Now, outside of that, the only other question I really have, if I'm being honest with you, is what's going to happen with Nakobe Dean when he comes back. Where are you going to put him? Where are you going to move Jihaad Cambell? Are you going to move Jihaad Cambell? I came on and I said this in a video right before the season started, and shout out to the people that called me out and told me I was wrong, because I was. I thought that Jihaad Cambell was really just going to be a pass rush guy. I thought that he was going to be somebody they slowly brought into this defense, slowly taught him, kind of his role and what they were going to expect from him, but we threw him right into the fire. Now, part of that is maybe, because of Nakobe Dean, but we knew that Nakobe Dean wasn't going to be playing until like week 4, week 5. I think week 5 is the official date that he'll come back, but we knew that wasn't going to happen even in preseason. So he was fighting for a job against guys like Jeremiah Trotter, and it looks like he won. It looks like he beat Jeremiah Trotter, but I'm very excited about this linebacking core. I'm not too worried about what the decision will be. I think that Nakobe Dean can go out there, and I've been on Nakobe's right side for a long time. I've been telling you guys he just needs to stay healthy, and when he is, he's a dog, and we saw that last year. So if he can get it back out there and he's at 100%, I have no fear that he's going to go out there and still be a great player for this defense. If you're going to keep Jihaad Cambell out there, I think that he'll do just fine. I think that he's been doing very well. I think he'll only get better. I think he'll only get smarter when it comes to reading the offenses, reading what his receivers want to do to him, what the tight ends want to do to him. He's made some very good plays, some very splash plays, some wow, I've never seen a linebacker do that for the Philadelphia Eagles type of plays. So I am not worried about that linebacking core at all, but I am curious to see what they're going to do when they get, Nakobe Dean back in there fully healthy there. Now, on the defensive line, we've talked about this kind of and I'm not sure. I think that we have a group of good guys. I think we have a group of good defensive linemen, right? I mean, obviously, defensive tackle, I think we're set. I think that Jordan Davis has shown that he can play more snaps than he, is obviously asked to on a week-to-week basis. Moro Ojamo looked good. Jalen Carter is Jalen Carter. So defensive tackle-wise, and you got Ty Robinson when he comes back, you got some guys, right? You got some dudes that can go out there and play on the inside at least, right? On the outside, on the edge rushers, I love Nolan Smith, but, I'm waiting for him to really take that step. I like Josh Uche. These are all guys that Zadarius Smith was a great addition, had a great first game. I think he had like 20 snaps, and he already had like tackle for loss. He had a sack. He had like 4 tackles. He went off. He had a great game, and I think that he's going to be a great addition for this team throughout the season, especially if he can stay healthy all season. I think in the playoffs, you'll really see his addition paying off. But other than that, I mean, realistically, Jalen Hurts, we still want to see that next step. Who's that guy? You know, I don't think that the Eagles necessarily have that guy on the outside as far as an edge rusher goes. Excuse me. Is it something you go trade for? No, I think that we are able to create pressure. You know, Vic Fangio has been dialing up more blitzes, and that's what you're going to have to do. I don't know if we have, like I said, that guy at edge rusher that's just going to be dominant. Josh Sweat was kind of that guy for us, just a consistent, dominant force on the outside. You know, we've had Hassan Reddick. We've had those guys. Right now, I just don't know if we do. Now, I believe that one of these guys can become that guy, right? Nolan Smith has shown flashes and flashes and flashes, and I think that he's taking that step. I think he's getting there, but I don't think he's there yet. Jalen Hurts, I want to see him be a little bit more consistent. I think that he has the athleticism, the natural gifts to go out there and be a great player, but he's just not that consistent yet. I love this team. I love this defense especially, and I think that we are fine on defense with Vic Fangio kind of scheming things up. So I'm not too worried. I think, again, the biggest question, biggest concern, I should say, is probably cornerback 2, and I think that that's going to be answered this week. I think this week is when you're going to see Vic Fangio either make a change or he's not, and if he doesn't, I'm going to be talking about Adoree Jackson all year. Let's just put it there. All right, we're just gonna lay it flat like that. That's how it's gonna happen. Now, if you made it this far, please do be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, join the family. We're trying to hit 7K. I'm trying to get a little bit more consistent with putting out content. I promise you, life has just been crazy. I appreciate everybody that leaves comments asking me, where are you, Joe? Where are you? I'm right here, I promise. But I really appreciate all the support. You guys have no idea how much it means to me. But yeah, be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe. I do want to talk about the offense, because I feel like the offense is probably the area of more concern. I think that's the nicest way of putting it, right? Keith Patuto, whatever the heck his name, I'm not going to, KP, okay? We're going to call him KP like the players do. KP got to get it together. I'm not jumping off a bridge yet. I'm not, I'm not all is woe. I'm not there yet. I'm not at the point where I'm saying I'm giving up on this guy. But I do want to see him be a little bit more aggressive. I feel like every other play we're seeing handoffs or, draws, or we're seeing a slant from A.J. Brown. There's got to be more in your bag. The one thing I was hoping was that Keith would kind of just take over what Kellen was doing, right? Kind of see, you were here last year, you saw what Kellen was doing. I was kind of hoping you would just kind of keep going with that. That worked, right? That was working for the Eagles. And I was hoping that he would just kind of keep going with that. We finally had some blitz counters. We had some, hot routes. We had some motion. We had things going last year, And I don't feel like I've seen that in the first 2 games. Now, I will say context is a mug, right? Context is a mug. And you got to look at the games that we played. Dallas Cowboys, they stood back and they basically dared us to take everything underneath and figure it out from there. Shout out to Jalen Hurts. He did. Things weren't open. He kept on making plays happen. He kept on making things happen. So shout out to him in that Cowboys game. But the Cowboys played a certain type of way, and I felt like our offense had to play a certain type of way as well in regards to that. So maybe that's why you saw the numbers a little bit lower. Now, the Chiefs, I know that the Chiefs' offense, their wide receivers are horrible. I get that. I get that they are dealing with a lot of injury on offense. That defense is still good. That defense is still one of those defenses that, people don't want to play. You still got Chris Jones out there. You still got some dogs out there, right? You still got McDuffie. You got dogs out there. There's good players on that defense, and they were one of the top defenses last year. Most likely will be one of the top defenses this year as well. But at the end of the day, look, do I want to see my quarterback throw for more than 100 yards? Yeah, I think everybody can agree that. Yeah, I would love to see him throw for 300 yards. I mean, we've seen it before, right? Hey, look, at the end of the day, we have won 16 games in a row that Jalen Hurts has started and finished. And of those 16 games, he's been under 150 yards. 4 of those times, I believe, 4 of those games, maybe 5. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but 4 or 5 of those games he's been under 150. So that's 11 10, 11 more games, 12 more games possibly that he had over that. So I'm not worried. I do want to see this offense get better. I do want to see you incorporate, obviously, A.J. Brown more. Devontae Smith was getting his. I think A.J. Brown's hurt. We've seen Jordan Mailata a little bit banged up, even though he's coming off one of his better weeks in a while. He's the highest offensive line graded in the NFL this week. So shout out to him. He had a great game against the Chiefs, but he was a little bit banged up. Landon Dickerson he's playing on fumes right now, if we're being 100% honest. These are not excuses, right? These are just context. I think that this offense, I know this offense has to get better, and I know that they will. We are going to continue to find ways to win, and I think it's going to surprise a lot of people, especially in this Rams game. We're going to have to put some points up, and I think we will, and I think that it will surprise a lot of teams when they see the Eagles go out there and put 30 up on the Rams, or put 28 up on the Rams, whatever it may be, because they are built to do whatever they have to do. If it's go out there and score 30, that's what they're going to do. If it's go out there and just hold on to the ball and make sure that the other offense can't score, that's what they're going to do. So I'm not too worried. I want to see KP get better, and I think that we have to give him that grace. I still see people, talking about Brian Johnson and saying we didn't give him enough time. So let's give him a little bit of time. If this is how it looks, I don't want to put a date on it. We're going to come back and we're going to look back at this Rams game, and if it doesn't improve a little bit, then we're going to keep talking and we're going to figure this out. I put it up on Twitter. I was a little bit upset during the game, I should say, but I wanted to know if Howie possibly could trade for an OC. I don't think that that's possible, so we are probably stuck with KP at least this year. Let's see what happens. I think he can get better. I think that being around this system for the time that he has, you've been around Nick Sirianni, you know what this team wants to do, you know what these players are capable of. So I do feel like it's just something he's going to have to continuously talk to Jalen Hurts. He's going to have to continuously talk to A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Goddard, this whole offense, right? Saquon, this whole offense. He's going to have to continuously talk to them and be like, all right, what am I doing wrong? What are you guys doing wrong? What are we doing right? What are you doing? It's going to have to be a conversation. It's going to have to be a continuous conversation. This is not when you want to peak, right? This is not when you want to peak. It's nice to be 2-0. It's nice to win games in the regular season, and it's, imperative. Don't get me wrong. You want to make it to the playoffs, but this is not when you want to peak. You want to continuously grow throughout this regular season, stay as healthy as you possibly can, because that's another thing. We're seeing a lot of quarterbacks going down, and we're seeing a lot of players getting hurt early on in this year. The Eagles don't want to fall into that mess. So just keep on trucking, keep on going, and I think this offense will be fine. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about this offense, because I really do feel like this is a hot button topic for us right now. Cornerback 2, we're worried about, but I think that we all know that this defense will figure some things out, and they'll be able to, at the very worst, work around the cornerback 2 situation. But offense, you don't have a good OC, you don't have a good play caller, you don't have much. So I want to know what you guys are thinking. Last thing I do want to talk about is the tush push. I've said this before. I will say this again. If you are tired of the tush push, stop letting us get in the down and one situations, all right? Stop letting us get to the 1 yard line. Stop letting us get to 4th and 1, 3rd and 1. That's on you. Okay, the tush push is not winning us games. It's keeping drives alive, which, in course, keeps us winning games. Don't get me wrong. But to go all the way back and say, to do reductive math, to do reductive math and say, all right, they're winning games, got to be the tush push. Got to be the tush push. Can't be that they're one of the more efficient offenses in the NFL, even with their struggles. Can't be that they've had a great defense for the past 2 years and look like they're going to continue that. Can't be. It got to be the tush push. The tush push got that interception in the end zone. I want y'all to know. The tush push did it all. The tush push is the dagger. We didn't throw that to Devontae Smith. Puh. We ran it in from 1 yard out. So I'm so tired of hearing people talk about it. Shut them up, guys. Shut them up. All Eagles fans unite. Make sure they ain't talking junk about this team, because we are who we are. And until you beat the man, you can't be the man. So I want to know what y'all thinking in the comments. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe. I love you all. Y'all have no idea how much I appreciate all of you that watch these and deal with me and deal with my rants. I want to thank God for giving me the opportunity to come and talk to you as always. It's always a pleasure. But other than that, y'all know what it is. And y'all know what it's going to be. We pushing to the Super Bowl, baby. It's Fly Eagles Fly, and we out here. Peace!
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you.
Fly Eagles flying on the team. Touchdown, touchdown. Time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a Bird Gang Nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling on Philly the podcast. And we can call a man dog or watch Miles score off the handoff. Rest of the division, your man Saul. Jackson like Sean, hunting like Randall. Season here, early time to do him in. Your boy Philly Fresco. Thanks for tuning in.